All right, you can be seated. The jury is present. Members of the jury, in your preliminary instructions, I said normally there's a direct examination followed by a cross-examination by the opposing side and then a redirect examination. Sometimes we need to do things a little bit out of order. So the defendant's cross-examination of that witness is going to take place at a later time. We're going to take a witness a little bit out of order. Please don't speculate as to why that's happening. The state can call its next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Elizabeth Collins.
Hello. Can you please state and spell your first and last name? Elizabeth Collins. E-L-L-I-N-S. Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, you're going to have a seat here to my left.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Elizabeth Collins.
And do you live here in Arizona?
I do live here in Arizona.
Back in 2019, did you own any rental properties?
I did.
And did you own a rental property at 3875 East Phelps Street in Gilbert, Arizona?
Yes.
Is that here in Maricopa County?
Yes, it is.
When did you purchase that house?
I purchased that house in October of 2018.
And how long had you been renting that house?
I've been renting it since I purchased it.
Was this a long-term rental or one of those short-term Airbnb type of things?
Long-term rental.
Did you have a minimum lease length?
Our minimum lease length for the initial lease is 1 year.
So you'd had at least one person in there since you'd purchased the home?
Correct.
Prior to October 2nd of 2019, had you ever had any issues at that house?
Never.
Any prior disturbances in that neighborhood?
None, and none that I was aware of.
Okay. No shootings at the home?
No shootings at the home.
No police going out there to your knowledge?
None to my knowledge.
Was this pretty much a normal, quiet rental property?
Yes.
Did you ever rent 3875 East Phelps Street house in Gilbert to Brandon Boudreau?
I did.
Did you go through a company to advertise the lease?
We did. We used a realtor that was a friend of ours to help us advertise the property for lease and to do the legal documentation.
Okay. I'm going to put up can I have Thelma? Thank you. Has previously been admitted as Exhibit 9. Do you recognize this street?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to zoom in a little here. Do you recognize this house over here and this sign?
Yes, so the rental property is on the right-hand side of that photograph.
Okay. So basically the house right here?
Yes.
Then you indicated that you used a company to do your lease agreement?
Yes, I did.
I've shown the defendant Exhibit 119, if I may have my paralegal approach. Do you recognize Exhibit 119?
Yes, this is the lease agreement.
And then that's the one that you made with Brandon Boudreau?
Yes, it is.
The state will move to admit Exhibit 119.
Any objection?
No objection.
119 is admitted.
So in Exhibit 119, we see that you were the landlord, one of the two, I guess, landlords.
Yes,
And then you rented this to Brandon Boudreau.
correct.
Did he have other individuals listed on the lease agreement to also be present at the property?
Just the names of his children?
Okay, so his 4 children were listed on there.
Yes.
What was the date for the lease to begin?
Oh, I believe it was September 23rd, 2019. We signed it on the 13th, which is what threw me off, but
Perfect. So the lease agreement started September 23rd and was going to be until September 30th of the next year.
correct.
And then you indicated that this was signed on the 13th of September.
That's my recollection.
Let me go to the last page of Exhibit 119. So does that show the different signatures, or at least yours at that time? And I think,
Correct. Mine and my husband's.
and then we see Brandon's signature as well for the 13th?
Correct.
Now, when you leased this property to Brandon Boudreau, did you include, or was there ever any inclusion of a person by the name of Melanie Boudreau on that lease?
No, there was not.
Did you ever have the name of anyone by the name of Lori Vallow on that lease?
No.
How about Alexander Cox?
No.
As someone who leases properties, rental properties, do you put your lease agreements out in any type of public website or social media?
No, never.
So you wouldn't have put it out there that Brandon Boudreau was now living at 3875 East Phelps Street?
No, that would be unprofessional.
So prior to October 2nd of 2019, once you signed that contract, that was just your information and his information?
That was my understanding, yes.
And you never told anyone about who was moving into your house?
Besides my realtor, no.
Perfect. Thank you. I have no other questions for this witness.
Any direct?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions for this witness from any member of the jury? I don't see any. You can step down. Thank you.